Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Wolfpack Mining here. We're going to talk about the Bombax EZ-100C, this 3800 megahash model. They do have a 3600 and a 3200. They'll be very similar to this guy here. So let's talk about it. So one of the first things I want to talk about is that Bombax is new to the crypto miner sphere. So kind of taking a chance. But I'm happy to have taken a chance. So far, this thing has treated me very well, and I even have another one in the garage as well, running. So that said, I'm going to go to their website. We're gonna walk around a little bit. We're gonna just talk about the machine, my experiences, everything. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So this is their website, bombaxminer.com. You can see right now they have two main models, the Pro and the C for Cozy Edition. So yeah, this is not the this is the model right now, the Cozy Edition, and this is their Pro. I'm not gonna talk about the Pro, but that's something for if you have more power or want to invest quite a bit of money in it. For now, we're gonna talk about the EZ-100C Cozy Edition. It's gonna get bright. Just give you a warning. So, this does 3,800 megahashes per second here, which is a lot for 760 watts. It's quiet. When they say quiet, it's quiet. If you're used to a gaming computer, it's quieter. So, and then it even has an eco mode, which is even more quiet and extremely more efficient. Love it. So, you'll see the 3,800 megahashes per second here at 760 watts. I'm getting about 780 watts at the wall, but my output's roughly 4,000 to 4,100. So definitely really good. Underselling these a little bit, but obviously you have to be careful just in case. They do mine quite a few different currencies. They are a little limited because their memory, I believe, is 5.2 gigabytes. So a little on the lower side, but what Bombax has been saying is that they get this amazing efficiency because they use this level or this amount of memory. There's something about how everything's wired and everything, and how they interact with how the chips and everything interact, that allows them to get the efficiency as opposed to having more memory. And then they'll have lower efficiency. So that's how they're able to compete this well with the Jazz miners. And they're very good. So yeah, they do work on 120 and 240. I have 240 in the garage, ran it on there, and I have 120 right here. I've been running that for a few days now also. Works perfectly, never had an issue at all. It's been sitting right next to my computer, doesn't even bother me, and I am not a fan of a lot of noise. So this is great. Definitely, as far as noise goes, recommend it for home miner. The price is a little hard to get into when you're new, but for me, I wanted to build out my Ethereum type coins miners, so I've been doing it for a little bit. So I thought this was a good price for what you're getting, and so yeah, so it's right on par with the market. It's definitely a fair price for what's out there, and being the most efficient crypto miner at this time, it's definitely a good value in my opinion. So yeah, so it's great. With the eco mode on this 3800 model, I get about 2,900 megahashes per second, but at about 370 watts at the wall. So nearly, not quite half the power, but I'm getting almost 75% of the hash rate. Awesome. This is awesome. If you're worried about efficiency, if you're worried about heat, if you're worried about longevity, that eco mode is great. I love it. Right now I'm not worried about, because I'm still profitable, but the fact that I can have the power and still have 75% of the potential means that I can adjust. As a home miner, electrics are high, so I can pivot around that and still use this miner even when the even when the crypto prices go down or the yields go down. I like it a lot. I'm excited for it. So there are two other options that you can purchase. I'm going to go to Crypto Miner Bros to kind of highlight that. There's another option, a 3200 mega hash model. That is what they originally were going to go for, or I should say have the hash power at. But the earlier models, for some reason, Bombax has these high-end or higher-end 3800 and 3600 models. So it's up to you. So I was originally only going to buy the 3200, and I was excited for that. And then when I found a 3800, I was like, I need those because that's awesome. That efficiency is great. Now the 3200, I believe, does the 3200 mega hash at 570 watts. So it's really good. Even it was good considering the Jazz miners are out there. So it's great. And I'm not entirely sure about the 3600 mega hash, so it's got to be somewhere between 570 and 760. So probably, you know, in the 650 range, I would think. Everything looks to be in stock by Crypto Miner Bros. Well, except for that one, but still, like, they are shipping them. So whatever meets your price point. But right now, the 3200 at Crypto Miner Bros is almost 4679, and you got 5049 for the 3800. So there are different options out there. So with that, we'll talk about other places to buy the crypto miners a little later. I kind of want to look at profitability. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to go here. So we have Bombax is now showing up in hashrate.no, which is pretty cool. So you can see the Pro, that's the big boy model. You'll see the EZ-100. You'll see the EZ-100C, which is what we're kind of focusing on today. The power rate's at 18 cents a kilowatt hour. That is my cost. So kind of gives you an idea of what a home miner around that cost will have, and see if this is, you know, ideal for you. But you can track this and see what's going on, what works best for you. And so with that, we're going in a little bit. You can see these are some of the coins you can mine. There's probably others, but there's quite a few already that you can. Now, personally, I'm for Octaspace, but I do have a little bit of Ethereum Classic mining also. But you can see that either one's pretty close, and you're looking at around 686 before power, and at my electric rate, 18 cents kilowatt hour, you're looking at around, let's say 350, because these go up and down. Let's say $3.50 a day. Pretty good if you consider what you're getting with Bitcoin miners at hosting prices or other items. So you're not going to get the gains like a Casper miner, but these tend to be a little more mature. The network's a bit more mature, so they tend to be more consistent. And so the price in return tends to be a little different versus like your Casper miner, which you might be comparing, why would I do this or that. So this is more of a long-term, or the Casper miner tends to shift a little bit more with the network consistently going down in yield, and the increasing and being relatively new to ASICs. So keep that in mind, that the market's a little different with Ethereum ASICs versus Casper ASICs. But these are pretty good returns if you're comparing to something like a Bitcoin miner of a similar price. This is on the small model at 18 cents a kilowatt hour versus the Bitcoin miner, where I can't even be profitable with the Bitcoin miner. So just something to keep in mind. It's pretty cool. So some places you can purchase. We've already talked about Crypto Miner Bros. I've heard people like ETHash. I personally have bought most of my ASICs recently, and most importantly the Bombax from T-Swift. I've had no problems. Great communication with each other. I've gotten quite a few, including these Bombaxes from there. It's been pretty good. So I recommend him and a few others, and I think the others are also reputable, worthwhile to try. It's up to you what works best for you. With that, I want to jump in the interface real quickly. Just kind of give a quick tour. You have your general overview. You have your status. As you can see, this particular one has been running for 12 days, almost 13 days now. And you can see I'm averaging about 440.63 on my octa space, and there's some ZIL in there, so you can kind of see things are working out pretty good for me. Fans are running nice and slow. It likes to be at 70C. So yeah, it does say 754, but it's more like 780. But it's still pretty close, so you're going to get a relatively accurate power. Settings are pretty simple. You can you can append your name here, or you can have it automatically add like an IP name or something to it if you want, and then you can just pick if it's ETC or not. Yeah, there is an eco mode. Eco mode is that one I told you does about 75% of the hash rate for about 50% of the power on mine. Yeah. And then it's pretty basic. Nothing. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Just one warning is to make sure you upgrade your firmware to this version 1.1.0-7. Some of the earlier firmware that they ship with on some of the models wasn't working well on the K1 pool. Oh, and I don't know about other pools. I know these work well on K1 and F2 pool. I haven't really played with any of the other pools, but these are working well. I worked with K1 to get on the earlier, or when they just released, to help get these set up and working on Octa. We were messaging back and forth, so I know they work. And obviously here I've been working for 12 days on this particular miner that I'm showing. So yeah, this definitely working awesome for me. In the next part of the video, we're just gonna do a walk around. Gonna just kind of show what's in it, what do you see, what's in the box, what can you expect out of it, and yeah, just talk about that, the aspect of what's it look like and everything. What you see here is the Bombax EZ-100C. I am black. I know some websites show an unpainted case. I'm not sure if that was prototype rendering, but regardless, it does come in black with an etched logo with the Bombax flower in there. It's not a sticker. It does not rub off. I'm happy about that. Case is very similar to a Jazz miner. They're Q models. It's manageable. It's a small computer essentially. Yeah. I'll flip this around here. You can kind of see the heatsink right here. You can see your standard Ethernet. And there's the power supply up here, and it uses one of your standard cable right here, so easy to find a replacement. Mine did not ship with, actually, it's correction, it did ship with cable, but it shipped with, I believe, a European cable. I'm not really sure what this one is, but so I had to source my own cable. Not a big deal, since I'm using 120 or 240 anyways. You'll see that the wires to the power supply are just, just wires coming from the power supply, and they're bolted right into the board. So in theory, easy to replace if you needed to. I don't anticipate needing to anyways. The power supply is using quite a little bit of power, so it's pretty nice. You do see heat sinks. They are pretty thick and chunky. You can kind of see them in there. They take up quite a bit of space. Compared to the Jazz miners, the Bombax will have all three fans up front in a push configuration, compared to a pull from the back. They're really quiet. They work really well. On the front also, you'll see, I believe, an IP report button and a reset button that you can reset the firmware if you need to. But yeah, it's pretty small. There isn't much to it. There's a power switch on the back. It's pretty easy, compact. You can probably fit it anywhere. So, under a table, in the back of the room, on a shelf. I like it. Yeah. So what's included is the power cable, like I told you about. That's not for US, so I'm not really sure. So bear with me since I don't know. But cables are pretty cheap. It does include brackets for racks, so you can mount it in there, and it does include handles that you can attach to the front as well. The shortcoming is that there are no screws, So unfortunately, there are no screws to attach them. I think they're pretty standard screws, so they might be easy to source. But that is the small shortcoming, is that they have no screws. Otherwise, I don't really use them, so it hasn't been a big deal. So otherwise, the crypto miner works flawlessly and has been working for close to a month now. And with that concludes the video and the walkthrough. Thanks for sticking around, watching everything. And if there's anything I can improve, let me know. Comment down in the comments below. I look forward to chatting with you guys where I can. And thank you for helping being part of my journey, and let me be a part of your crypto journey. And let's keep going into the bull market.